Okay, good morning. Magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Bali, ang topic na i-discuss ko po ngayong araw ay tungkol sa pest management and biological control sa ating mga palay. Ano nga ba ang tinatawag na pest management and biological control? Una, ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng mga peste o what is a pest? According to the description, a pest is a plant or animal detrimental to humans or human concern. This is as agricultural or livestock production. It also includes organisms that cause nuisance and epidemic disease associated with high mortality. It is also an animal or insect or other organisms that causes problems for people, especially by damaging their crops. To human, it is anyone who bothers or annoys the other people. And it is broadly since it is a competitor of humanity. That is the descriptions of pest. There are a category of pest. For the general categories, pest can include it's either plants or animals, insects, birds, and the pathogens, and etc. For example, insects are pests for farmers. Totoo, dahil ang mga insekto piste sa mga magsasaka dahil sa pagpipiste sa kanilang mga sakahan o sa kanilang mga pananim. Ang caterpillar din, or animals or insects, caterpillar are also pests to crops. Of course, alam natin na ang mga caterpillars o larva ay ilan lamang sa mga halimbawa sa mga peste sa ating mga pananim. The flies also are pests to animals. Diba? The mice are also pests. Household pest ang tawag sa kanila. Ay maaari din natin sa household or it's either sa ating mga palayan. Ito ay mga kategorya ng mga peste na ating makikita. Tulad halimbawa ng pigeon ant. Ito ay peste din, di ba? The bee ay ilan lamang sa mga halimbawa ng peste. The carpet beetle, houseflies, weevil, termites, snake, a cockroach, bedbug, spider, fire ant, hornet, moth, mice, tick, fruit flies, mosquito, rat, silverfish, wasp, carpenter, a black widow, silverfit, feral bird, and reptile. They are the category of pests na ang iba sa kanila ay mga natural enemies at ang iba naman sa kanila ay enemies. Oh. We have also the biotic constraints across major rice ecosystem. We have an upland, we have an hydromorphic, mayroon din tayong lowland at irrigated land. The agroecological zone sa upland naman ay Guiana savanna or the humid zone, humid forest zone. Sa hydromorphic, Guinea savanna humid forest zone. Sa lowland naman ay ang Sudan savanna humid zone forest. At ang irrigated lowland, Sahel humid forest zone. The main biotic is weeds, the termites, the constraints is the blast, steam borers, blast. Sa hydromorphic ay weeds, blast, EFGRM, the steam borers. Ito po ang makikita natin. Ito ay ilan lamang sa mga sakit na mayroon mula sa upland, sa hydromorphic, sa lowland, ito din, at saka sa irrigated land kung makikita natin. Different pest, pag-usapan din naman natin ang iba't ibang klase ng mga peste sa ating mga sakahan o sa ating palayan. Una, mayroon po tayong identified na birds. Bakit ang mga birds ay peste? Tulad halimbawa, during sa ripening season, kahit sa hindi pa nahihinog, mayroon na mga birds. Halimbawa ang maya. Hindi po ba? Ang maya ay ilan sa mga peste sa ating pananim. Pangalawa, ay ang weeds. Ito ay mga peste din sa ating mga paninim dahil ito po ay nagiging competitor ng ating mga palay o kahit ni anong mga crops. Pangatlo ay ang insects. Of course, ito din ay ilan sa mga piste sa ating pananim. Tulad halimbawa ng rice bug, ito sila ay mga peste sa ating pananim. And of course, we have also the pathogens, which is ilan din po ito sa nakakasira o nakakadistroso sa paglaki ng ating mga pananim. Dahil kung makikita natin, nagkakaroon ng sakit ang mga dahon ng ating mga humay o palay gawa ng mga pathogens na mga piste. Okay, sa birds naman po, kung may birds po tayo, the birds has been the major constraint in rice production. Totoo. Dahil pag hindi po natin ito na-eliminate, posibleng 100% pa. Hindi lang 100%, hindi lang 75 to 100% ang maaaring makasira o maka-cause ng loss of our productions. Damage by the bird invasion can reach up to 75% or total output. The cost of bird scaring could reach up to 50% of total production cost. Kaya dapat maminimal talaga natin kahit nga sa umpisa pa lang sa ating transplanting, ito ay nakaka-cause din ito, natawag natin na pest kasi inaapakan nila ang ating mga palay, di ba? We have the types of birds, the Velox waver, the red-headed Killia, the bronze mankin, then the Plucus weavers. They are the examples, some of the examples of the pest birds that attack in our rice field. O bird control, paano po nating masusugpo? O paano nating maiiwasan? O paano nating mai-eliminate? Hindi 100% na pwede nating maalis ang mga ibon o mga birds. Paano lang natin? Una, erect scarecrows randomly in the field. Like for example, this feature, these figures, this image, na maaari kang gumawa ng kahit ni anong image or scarecrow na pwede nating takutin ang ating mga ibon. Gaya na lang ng pinapakita nito, maaari kang gumawa ng mga image like this. The person is standing randomly, kahit na saan, particular sa inyong palayan, ay maaari nating gawin. The scare bird manually, ay maaari natin namang tayo na mismo ang magbantay araw-araw. Kung hindi tayo tatamarin, ay maaari nating gawin. Of course, tie all VHS tapes diagonally. Kung mayroon tayong mga old use, hindi na mga ginagamit ng mga VHS tapes, maaari nating gawin natin itong ilagay natin sa gitna ng ating palayan. Install bird nets if available. Kung hindi pa, ay maaari naman tayo mag-install ng mga bird nets kung meron tayo, lalo na kung hindi gaanong malaki ang ating palayan. Now, the last is use catapults. Weeds. Sunod, ang weeds naman po ay ilan lamang sa mga pest o mga nakakasira sa ating palayan. Weeds are defined simply as the plants out of the place. Yeah, di ba? This includes any plants that interfere with the cultivations of desirable plants, causing economic loss through increased production costs, or it reduces the yield and or quality of the crop. We have the weed compete with crop 4. Ano po ba? Di ba ang mga weeds ay nakikipag-compete sa ating mga crop? Sa anong paraan? Sa anong paraan sila nakikipag-compete? The space, of course. Sa space po nila, instead na lalaki ang ating mga palay, hindi na siya makakalaki, hindi na siya makakagalaw. It's because naokupado na ang space dapat sa ating mga rice field at sa ating mga tillers, sa ating mga pananim na palay dahil nandyan na yung mga weeds. Of course, the light, lalo na kung ang ating mga damo ay medyo mataas pa kesa sa ating mga palay. Lalo na doon sa ilang days pa lang before transplant, after transplanting. Pag mataas ang ating mga weeds, hindi masyadong maiilawan. Otherwise, hindi makakakuha ng hindi masyadong maaarawan ng ating mga pananim na dapat kailangan nila for creation of their foods. Di ba? Then the nutrients also is the compete for the crop of the weeds. It's because na dapat sa ating mga pananim ay kakainin nila ang mga nutrients at nahati pa ito papunta doon sa mga weeds. Di ba? Itong water din, kahit ang tubig naman ay kailangan din naman ng mga weeds, kaya posibleng sila, ay hindi posible sila talaga ang competitor ng ating mga weeds. We have also the factors aiding with competitiveness depends on the following influence. A. Relative growth stages of the rice and weed. Di po ba? Nature of stand establishment, transplanting, and direct seeding. Kasi maaari sila. Density of planting. Di ba? Ang density of planting. The rice variety. The short variety versus tall. The leafy variety. Maaari din sila. Then the moistures and nutrients availability. Yun. We have also the top types of grasses na magiging competitor ng ating mga crops. The grasses, sedges, the broadweeds, tapos yung mga algae. Yun po sila. Okay, next is weeds management. Paano natin mababawasan o paano natin mamamanage ang mga weeds sa ating palayan. Weeds can be managed through land preparation. Kung ayusin natin ang ating land preparation, is possible na makontrol natin ang ating mga weeds. Kasi from the top, maaari nating mailagay sa ilalim ng lupa ang ating mga wedges. The water management, of course, lalo na kung bago pa lang ang ating palayan at bago pa lang ang ating mga pananim, kailangan nga mayroon tayong imbak na tubig para hindi maka-penetrate, makatubo ang ating mga wedges. Kung nasa naman kung medyo malalaki na siya, so maaari nating i-hand weeding. Yun po yung pinaka-the best na dapat nating gawin. The brushing, bands, periperies. Okay, crop rotation. Bakit may crop rotation? Kasi in terms of crop rotation, ay maaari din nating maiwasan o ma-eliminate, mabawasan ang ating mga crops, ang ating mga weeds na tutubig because of our crop rotations process. At kung wala nang iba, hindi talaga, meron tayong mga herbicides na ginagamit na maaari nating gamitin para sa ating mga damo na ating i-eliminate during sa ating mga pananim. We have the categories of herbicides. We have herbicides are divided into 3 groups depending or the time of applications. Na para nating i-apply pre-planting applications before the crop is planted ay maaari nating lagyan na ng mga herbicides para hindi na masyadong makapenetrate ang mga bagong tubo na mga weeds. The pre-emerged applications after planting but prior to the emergence of weeds. Then the next, the post-emergence applications for application after emergence of the weeds. We have also the mode of actions. Paano natin gagawin? Contact herbicides kill plant tissues at are very close to the point of the contact. Number 2 is the systematic herbicides. Move wither the plant to expert effects away from the point of the contact. Number 3, selective herbicides. Kill or stun camp plant species with little or no effect on others. Okay, the weeds management pa din. Narito pa rin tayo. After the establishment of the field, allow standing water to control the weed. For example, this is our rice field na kailangan during the after transplanting, magkaroon ito ng tubig upang makontrol ang pagtubo ng mga weeds. First, hand weeding at 14 to 21 days after the transplanting. Yun ang pwede nating i-hand weeding 14 to 21 after transplanting. Use rice weeding, handheld equipment. Ito ay pwede nating gamitin, mga handheld ay pwede nating gumawa. Although ginagawa lang din sa amin to. Second hand weeding at 40 days after transplanting. During na siya sa mamumunga na siya, ay maaari na natin siyang i-hand weeding din. Okay, pesticides used in crop reproduction systems. Indiscriminate use of pesticides. Bakit ini-indiscriminate natin? Kung maaari lang, hindi tayo gumamit ng mga pesticides. Concerns on food, environment, and natural resources management. Kasi, ang mga pesticides, ang mga synthetic pesticides ay maaaring magkaroon ito ng di magandang cause sa ating soil. Ay maaaring din, kaya nga kung patuloy tayong gumagamit ng mga pesticides, ay maaari ditong makasira sa ating soil. At maaari din makasira o maka-contaminate sa water, of course. Then, maaari din nating mapatay ang ating mga beneficial microorganism o beneficial insects na present sa ating mga rice field. Promote the use of plant-based products, biopesticides. Itong mga ipopromote natin na mga plant-based products ay maaari natin gumawa tayo ng mga herbicides, mga pesticides using the plant in our environment. Yun po yung ginagawa nating mga concoctions ay maaari din nating gawin dito. Next is the entomopathogenic fungi as alternatives to use to synthetic pesticides. The pest management. Pest management is therefore a means of reduced pest numbers to an acceptable threshold. Hindi nga 100% na maaari nating makontrol ang ating mga peste. An acceptable threshold in most cases refers to an economically justifiable threshold. This is also where applications of pest control measures reduces pest numbers to a level below which traditional applications would not be profitable. This means when additional cost of control exceed additional benefits. Pest eradication, example, complete removal is usually not viable options. Also, kailangan nating malaman ang integration pest management or the IPM. Bakit? Integrated pest management or IPM is an effective tool and environmentally sensitive approach to the pest management that relies on the combinations of holistic approach and practices. IPM programs use current comprehensive informations to the life cycle of pests and their interactions with the environment. Ito the management options of the rice insects. Biological control ay maaari nating mga biological control na yung ating gagamitin sa pag-manage ng mga insect. Optional naman ito options biological. Otherwise, kung magtatanim tayo ng palay, kailangan din natin ng mga varietal resistance, tolerance na ating mga itatanim during that time. Cultural practices ay maaari din natin gawin at maaari na tayong gumamit ng biopesticides. Ito po yung mga options na pwede natin gawin sa pag-control ng rice insects. The African rice gall midge or EFRGM, the African rice gall midge or Cilia oraicivora Harris angagni o Diptera cicidomiidae is the serious insect pest of rain-fed and irrigated lowland rice in the Africa. Maybe this is not only with Africa, but also this is concerned to the Philippines. It is a bad borer and larval feeding insect causing severe damage to rice during the vegetative stage, seedling to panicle initiation. Ito sila, the EFRGM eggs with newly hatched larva. Ito sila. Ay nakikita din naman natin ito dito sa Philippines. Ito, EFGRM pupa. Tapos larva na siya, disconnected gall, then ito na yung adult. Symptoms of EFRGM. Ito, na napuputol ang mga leaves. Nagiging marupok ang mga leaves ng ating mga palay. O level of resistance, susceptibility, standard evaluation system, IRR 1996. We have the score, the standard evaluation system description, the percentage tiller infestation. Score 0, high resistant, 0% ang kanyang tiller infestation. Score 1 resistant is mayroon tayong 1%. Number 3, moderately resistance is 1 to 5%. Then the 5, moderately susceptible, 6 to 10% tiller infestation. Number 7, the score of number 7, susceptible, 11 to 25% tiller of infestation. Then the 9 is the highly susceptible, is meron tayong 25% up na tiller infestation. Percent tiller infestations and the susceptible check should, on the average, be more than 15% for trial resorts to be considered valid. Here, also the sting borers. They are considered to be the most important insect pest of the rice in the West Africa and are found in all ecosystems. Sting borer species which cause serious damage to the rice include the African pink borer, Sisamia calamistes, African white borer, Malarpia separatelia, African striped rice borer, the Chilos saconios, the stock-eyed fly, Jopsis longicomes. Damage is caused by the boring activity of the larvae within the stem during the vegetative and the reproductive stages of plant growth. Oh, major stem borer species, we have the striped stem borer, ito, Chelos saconius adult, ito na siya. The striped stem borer, Chilosaconius larva, ito na siya. Ang sunod, ito na siya. Ito yung adult, ito naman yung larva. Pink stem borer, Sisamia calamistis adult na ito. Ito yung adult. At yung pink stem borer, Sisamia calamistis larva. Magkakaiba lang sila ng kulay. Pero yung hugis parang magkaparihas. Okay. The symptoms of sting borer damage in rice. The dead hearts. Ayan. Tapos yung whiteheads, nagkakaroon siya, hindi na siya nagkakaroon ng laman. The cases, most of the traditional Oryza sativa varieties grown in the Africa are low yielding and highly susceptible to the sting borers. African rice has generated several hundred numerical lines, opening new gene pools and increasing the biodiversity of rice to end user. However, we do not know how resistant these numerical lines are to the stem borers. Are nericas more or less vulnerable to stem borer damage than the land races they are about to replace? The caseous rice mixed with maize is the common features of traditional upland rice cultivation in some West Africa countries. So maaari natin gawin ito dito sa ating bansa, lalo na kung may mga upland rice tayo. Maaari lang features traditional, maaari nating itapad ang ating rice, ang ating mga mais kasi pari-parihas ang mga stem borer na umaatake sa kanila. Instead, na hindi masyadong maapektuhan ng ating mga palay. Rice and maize shares common stem borer species. So parehas. Can maize be used as a trap crop to protect rice against the stem borers? So ito yung mga trap plants natin, yung maize. Caseous, Sisamia calamistis hemp is a major stem borer pest of upland rice in the Africa. Not only in the Africa, maybe this in our nation, the Philippines. Has identified indigenous endoparasitoid Cosapecia sisamia for biological control of maize stem borer. Maize and rice share common stem borer, Sisamia calamistis. Can Coticias sisami be used to protect rice against Sisamia calamistis? Biological control of Sisamia calamistis by the endoparasitoid Cositia sisami. Ito sila. Biological control. Itong termites naman ay kadalasan hindi pa naman nagkikita sa Philippines, pero usually na-observe ko na rin po ito dito sa amin. Lalo na sa ating mga tinatawag dito sa Samar na banika na sa upland rice. The most significant soil pest in the rice Africa, not only maybe we have and I observe it in Samar and are mainly found in the upland rice ecosystem. The most damaging in the Nigeria is Macrothermis. Ito, Macrothermis. Damage is caused by the adults, workers that consume the roots and fill the stem with soil. The reduced translocations of water and nutrients causes the attack plant to dry up and die. Termite damage on rice roots and also predispose the roots to secondary infections and deviations of pathogens. So ito, yung mga cause ng Microthermis under damage on rice. Ito, na-observe namin ito dito sa Samar. Pero hindi pa naman gaanong severe. Biological control. Ripe and unripe pawpaw were diced and mixed with red palm oil. Application was made along the rows of the rice plant. Control Cultural controls of termites. Bamboo stems of 500 cm length were bored 200 cm deep in the soil at the spacing of 0.5 meters in all directions. How is the virus transmitted? Of course, the virus is mechanically transmitted, gains entry into rice plants through injuries. The possible routes of entry are root damage during the transplanting and roots. Interweaving in the soil. Possible sila matransmit ang virus. Weeding operation with host. Maaari din nating makatransmit tayo ng virus because na magkakaroon ng mga injuries ang ating mga rice. Harvesting with sickle or mga insects. Yung ating mga vectors of virus. Why focus on insect vectors? The insect species feed on an infected plant, collect the virus particle, pass them the next plant that they feed on. The virus does not undergo any changes within the insect itself, but Simplify uses it as the vehicle or the semi-persistent. Insect vectors of RYMV, sila yung mga insect vectors. Meron din ito dito sa atin. Nature of damage of rice leaves by vectors. Ito, kung makikita natin, na-observe natin ito ang mga, number 1 is Chitocnima polya. Itong number 2 ay Trichespa cereci. Number 3 is Oxia hyla. Number 4 is Nutriba similis. Ito na, para siyang natutuyok. Number 5 is Conicipalus longipines. Number 5. Ayan sila. Research product control technologies, pathologies, growing maize is a crop for rice timorels in the West Africa. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat at naway nakatulong at nagkaroon din naman ng kahit papano na lesson sa ating mga listener. Maraming salamat po.